Okay, welcome everyone. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening if you're joining this on the recording and you are watching this at a later time, but right now it is noon Central Standard Time. So it is the time to start our noon learning series, the first in the series, and we are going to look at Canva today. Hi everyone, I'm Trisha Lewis. Some of you already know me because you work with me. Some of you might be joining in because I shared this link out in my newsletter or on my social media channels, and I'm so appreciative if you're joining from somewhere else. I work for the Richland School District in Richland Center, Wisconsin, and I'm in my office because this is our prep, makeup, take up, work day type thing. We are 4 days a week with kids and 1 day without. So I'm here on my day without, and I decided to start this noon learning series and have just a bunch of different topics for people to come in and learn. They're going to be about a half an hour, so enough to wet your whistle, as we would say, but not too much to overwhelm. But definitely time to kind of look at a few things, think about some of these things, and maybe think about how we could use them in our classroom or our workspace area. So I'm going to go ahead and turn my camera off for now, and I'm going to keep going on with the rest of the presentation. All right, so today, of course, yes, we're talking about Canva and specifically Canva for education. Canva is a tool that I kind of looked at before, and I remember looking at it before and thinking, oh, this is kind of great. And then I'm like looking at it all, and I'm like, oh, but everything I'd really want to do is kind of on the page structure side. I know how these companies work. They kind of clue you in and get you in that they want to have you get more people into something by paying. And I fancy myself pretty good with the Google Slides. I thought I could pretty much do anything with that and create anything. But then Canva came around again with this Canva for education. Now I'm going to tell you, some of the things that have come out since March of last year have been really good things, and companies have really changed focus on how they do things. Now, I'm all for a free thing, but I don't like to try something and then have it taken away, or they're so limited unless you buy and things like that. But this is not the case with Canva. Let's go into it a little bit more here. What we're going to look at today of what's included with Canva. We're going to give you some tips on how to get set up if you haven't already. I didn't know the level of where everyone would be at with this, so I just want to make sure to include that information. We're going to talk about all of the resources that are included in Canva, kind of like pre-done for you. So if you don't have a lot of time or you don't fancy yourself creative, which is false, everyone is creative in some level, you can kind of take and make things that Canva already have started for you. I'm going to give you a live demonstration in the design space of things that I've done, and we're just going to whip something up together today as well. And then much more we'll talk about things, and we can maybe have a follow-up to this if you'd like more of a deep dive on what else is involved with it. What is included in Canva? Canva for education. So the first column is create. Millions of premium fonts, graphics, videos, and animations and templates. Literally millions. Sometimes that is bad about some of these places where you can go online and learn and do things, because it's like, oh no, how am I ever going to decide? Another thing that's included, background remover. What? We always need one of those background removers if we need to isolate something or make something come out in an image. And you can create presentation or lessons. You can add your voice as a layover. You can send, you can make a video link, you can download, all sorts of stuff. One of the areas of Canva we're not going to talk about today, but I'm definitely up for making more of a deep dive on, is creating a classroom space for Canva. Because with Canva for education, you can invite your students into your Canva space and then be able to have them join in on the creation. What I like about Canva is it's kind of googly in a way about that. You're going to be able to collaborate in a space, kind of like on a Google Doc or slide. You're going to be able to you know, make corrections or make suggestions, all in that kind of collaborative space. Students can collaborate with each other. You can assign things through Canva as well. It does say it says shareware to Google Classroom, Microsoft Teams, and more. We are Schoology at the Richland School District, but I'm sure you could put this link in Schoology or Infinite Classroom or Edmodo or Blackboard or wherever else that you might put out a link to be able to join that. So in a nutshell, what's included? A lot is included. So getting set up, I didn't know where people were at with getting set up, so I want to make sure that I included this information today. You want to sign up at canva.com/edu-signup. Now, don't worry if you didn't get this link. I'm going to include all the links in our follow-up email of things that we talk about today. And you want to sign up making sure that you're using your school's email or Google domain. Here at the Richland School District, our students are on Google Mail, but teachers are on Outlook Mail. So we just use our regular email for that. And it says make sure you confirm your email. So you're going to get, once you sign up, you're going to get a confirmation email. Is this really you? So make sure you do that. If you do already have a Canva account, you can log into your account and then go through the process to get it upgraded. So way back in the day, remember when I first started out, I said, oh, I looked at Canva and then kind of left it by the wayside. I did have a Canva account and I was able to upgrade it to an education account by linking my school email to my private account email so that I just had one Canva. I don't have a couple different Canvas. And when you get your account and you verify your email, you're going to be asked to verify your teaching credentials so that you can access this. As simple as sending in a PDF copy or a JPEG copy or take a picture of your teaching license or your school ID. It really is not a hard process. And I think, well, within 24 hours, I'm sure that my account was verified that I was a teacher. So even if you are not quote unquote a teacher, if you have a school ID, if you are working in an office space or something like that, you're affiliated with a school, that is going to work for you because it's that copy of that. You can use your school ID for that. Okay, so what is inside Canva? You can find activity and lessons. And we're going to go this when I look at the design space too, but I kind of wanted to shoot it out ahead of time here. P.S. If you haven't figured it out already, the slideshow that you are watching today in this presentation was created in Canva. And I didn't have to do a whole lot with it. It was kind of already done with all these fun graphics and fonts and stuff. So I'll show you more about that. So inside of Canva, you can find education presentations, as if this is one of them, lesson plans, worksheets. If you need a worksheet and something done quick and fast, maybe you all of a sudden you are not feeling up to teaching for the next day, or something happens, you need to be out and you need something done, hey, guess what? Canva has you covered. There's all sorts of virtual classroom kits like Zoom backgrounds or your learning management system headers, and I'll go into that more of how you can create them if they're not in there. Posters of every kind and every kind of topic. Classroom decor kits, so you can print out things for like a bulletin board or desk name tags, all sorts of different things. You can do group work activities, maybe something for the intermediate grades or older grades, making infographics. All sorts of templates in there about infographics and how to be able to show and share information using that. And then student video templates so that you can have kind of this graphic and be able to insert the student video with it. Kind of makes it look really, really neat. The design space, let's take a look at it and see what we can do with it. I have a few tabs open across the top. So I'm going to open up at the home page of Canva right now. So I've already signed into my account, and remember, this is my verified account. I know it's my verified account for a couple ways. If I go into my account here, in my picture here, my account settings, You'll know that you're verified and everything is set up. And I do want to show you that really, really quick where that is at. If you look under the billing and terms, it says Canva for Education. Okay, so you know that you get the Canva for Education account going on in there. All right, so I'm going to get back to the home space here. Now, when you first come into Canva, this header changes like every day, so that's kind of really cool. I think that's neat, so you get some inspiration right away when you're kind of walking into Canva. Stuff along the left-hand side, some things across the top. We have a search area. We can just go ahead and start right into something, but I also want to scroll a little bit to show you some things. Here are just ready to go. Same thing as if you went into a template or creating, you could do this. Your designs, so things that you have been working on, all your current work is here. So you can see that I designed not only this presentation that I'm doing right here, I had my graphic that I made for my social media post, the stuff that I put in the Eventbrite links. I made my header for my website in here. And notice I kind of made it all look the same. So if you're thinking about branding or thinking about keeping a theme throughout, no matter what it is, you can do it in there. Now, as I scroll down a little bit more, trending education templates, you're going to get all sorts of stuff about education because it knows that you're in that EDU type account. Like I said, infographics. Not only a great way for kids to share the information out, maybe to show what they know, but for you to share out about your classroom. Think about what an infographic can show and be able to convey the information. And like I said, worksheets, English, science. This was a new one that popped up here, flashcards, and that kind of inspired me to do something, and I'll show you what I did with that. Like I said, Google Classroom headers, but if you're looking for things like Schoology or Infinite Campus, all those in there, you can get the sizes of things that you need. Math worksheets, lesson plan sheets, class schedules, art worksheets, online whiteboards. So if you need to have a template to go into the back of like your Google Jamboard or whiteboard chat, you can make something up in Canva and put that in as your background. Mind mapping, oh, fantastic stuff. Posters, and remember, if you liked it and it was done, you can just use it, or you're going to be able to edit it. And as I said, all sorts of stuff ready to go, topic related, current, good imagery. Ooh, resumes, fantastic. And as I said, you just kind of can keep going on further and further. Now, something that's embedded inside of Canva that I haven't tried yet, but I have someone that has, is you can actually print right from Canva, as in like if you want premium printing. So if you make your own Christmas photo cards, or you have a baby announcement or wedding announcements, or you're having a party invitation, you can do all of that right from from Canva. And it sends out to a print house and it gets mailed to you. The person that did it said that their stuff looked pretty darn good, and the presentation, the box was beautiful, the shipping was great, and all that kind of stuff. Now, let's get into the design space. I'm going to start with something blank for now, just because I am. I'm going to go ahead and create a design, and it can be some of the suggested sizes. Now, when I hover over these, notice it gives us the pixel size that we need in order to create something that is going to work. All right. But say you just wanted to have something that you know is going to fit on an 8.5 by 11 piece of paper. So if you needed to print it out for your students, you know that that would work on your printer. Well, you can go right down into custom size, and we can make width and height here. So we're going to make our width 8.5 and our height 11, and we want to make sure that we're going to do this in inches. Okay, if I did it the reverse way, 8.5 by 11 is going to be portrait. If I did 11 by 8.5, it would be in the landscape view, but I'm going to do portrait view. Now our workspace is going to be loading here. And now sometimes people think a blank piece of paper is awfully scary. How are you even going to start? Well, if you got into this and you're like, I don't know what exactly I want to do, Canva's got you covered because you are going to be opened up right away to some templates here. And you can kind of scroll along the side and see what the templates are. Remember I said you can like take the templates and make them what you want them to be too. So you could find something and you're like, oh, I want to kind of amp that up and change that up a little bit. Okay. I'm going to skip uploads for now just because I want to show you a couple other things before we come back to uploads. Let me go to photos. As we said, millions and millions of resources available here for you to use that you don't have to worry about copyright. That is awesome in education. This is a great way to show your kids that you are cognizant of what work is available for you to use. Not just finding some image on Google and using it and not giving credit where credit is due. But this, inside of Canva, they've done all that work for you and they're ready to go. They have trending images here, but you can go ahead and search. Well, today, yeah, it's like warm, like I don't know, what did it finally crack into the plus degrees today? Oh, it's 15 degrees as of right now. But I'm thinking I need to have something about the beach. So that's what I'm going to look up. Oh, look at those images. Oh, that's great. So I think I'm going to put this picture in here. Okay, what I like about Canva is it helps us out. If I'm moving that image around, we know where to line it up. It kind of gives us those really nice guides. So if you don't know a lot about design, you are going to look like you know a lot about design. Now, when I'm moving this around, I want you to pay attention to this area in the upper left-hand corner. Notice how when I move and finally decide on something, it's automatically saving everything. Awesome. That's why I said this is like it's kind of googly in a way. It auto saves where you're at. Because I started with an untitled design, I can make sure that I name it. So I'm just going to go Canva demo at the beach. Okay. So I'm just going to leave that one right there. Okay. The next thing I could add in are the elements. Oh, every kind of image, and not only static images, but animated images as well. And I'm going to show you what you can do with those. So all sorts of featured images, your lines, your shapes, your frames. I got to show you that one. That's my favorite. Stickers, the way that you can do charts. So this would be when you're making your infographics. I like that they have really kind of current topics. If you need to be talking about something with your students or in your workspace, you need to make some sort of signage or do a presentation. Like I said, these are just kind of out here. All right. But let's go ahead and search the elements for beach. Okay. All right. So we could put in some of these graphics as well. So I think I'm going to put that one in. I'm going to put this down here. I'm going to put this up here. We're already getting something going on. Remember that I talked about they are animated. So if you're going to share something online, like I was doing this presentation and notice we have these animated, they're going to stay animated. If you're going to print it, of course it's not going to be printed out with that animated. It will choose like a static of it and then kind of print that out. All right. Text, if we needed to add some text more to this, you have any kind of text you want here. There's also font combinations that are ready for you to use. So if I like the way that this pink and yellow look together here, I can put that in. But maybe I don't necessarily like that it's pink and yellow and I don't want it to say good vibes. I'm going to get rid of my beach. Notice I can get rid of things. I can move things around. What I did is a lasso select. So I'm left clicking and dragging so I get all my elements at once so that I can put them right in the center of my page. And as I'm starting this, I'm thinking, you know what? I think I would rather have this be a landscape rather than this portrait. Da, 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 resize. We are going to change this from 11 to 8.5. So Canva is automatically doing the remix for us. Not only is it getting it ready for the new one, but it kept our old one as well. So if we wanted to go back to that portrait one, we can. But I'm going to do like this, and I think I'm going to make this really big in the background. I'm going to make this text here. I can change what the text says, so it's kind of grouped together, but I can get in there and change what I want. And I am going to ungroup these so that I can work on them a little bit singularly here to stretch it out. Just in a few clicks, I have put an image in, put some text on, edit it. It could be ready to go. I could download it and use it anywhere. But let's go on a little bit further. If we wanted to add background, okay, so we have kind of a bigger image, but I don't want that white bars to be up here across the top and the bottom. Maybe I want that against a brick wall to have that image. Maybe I want to actually have sand. Let's see what this looks like. Ooh, I'm going to put this in as the background. I could put in this as the background. Ooh, I like that even better. I could take out my picture and I could just put that in there. Now you're thinking, oh, shoot, I wish I had my picture back. I didn't need to delete it. Just like Google, we can just undo and bring everything back and step backwards and forwards right here. So if you were handy with your keyboard shortcuts, to undo is that Control Z, and to redo is Control Shift Z to get that in there. If you're doing presentations or other things that you're going to do on the web, you can even add audio and you can add your own videos. What I like about the audio here is copyright free, so you don't have to worry about finding some sort of MP3 to put in the background. They've got it all done for you. Now I'm looking at our time and we're kind of going fast here, but I want to show you a couple things that I've already done. Like I said, I did this presentation inside of Canva, and the way that I'm presenting it is I went into here and I shared the link, and I could send this link to anyone anywhere and they could be able to look at this presentation. You can also send it for editing too. So if I wanted one of you that are in on this session today to actually edit with me, we could work collaboratively on it. I added this slide at the top. These slides were already in. The graphics were there. Notice I got all my different pages, all my different fonts in there ready to go. When we were first talking about some of the templates that were out there, I saw flashcards, and I hadn't seen that before. And then I saw this cool advertisement for these things called like virtual meeting cards. But like they were kind of expensive, but I thought it was kind of a good idea. And if I looked on Etsy, there's some there, and I'm sure Teachers Pay Teachers has it on there. But in about 10 minutes, look what I came up with. I just made a piece of paper. I found this shape, and then I copied it. So I had another one. I added a text box, copied the text box, and then I just kept finding icons to put in here. So now I have these that I could print out. So if you're in a virtual meeting, you could actually hold up signs to convey things in a very quick way. Because I know there's all sorts of reactions and things in some meeting spaces, but sometimes just being able to hold up a sign. I did them in black and white because a lot of copy machines ready to go. You could certainly do them in color. I can download this right now, and it's suggested a PNG, but actually what I want to have it as is a PDF, because I'm going to send you a link to these virtual meeting cards in our wrap-up, and you can choose to use them or not. So it's preparing my design right now to download. All right, there it is. I can attach that PDF. I can put it anywhere, and they're ready to go. I could also print right from this space as well. Okay, so I could go in and print this. I can email it. I can share it out to my Facebook page. But remember how I said they have premium printing? So if you wanted to have mugs created or trifold cards or all sorts of things, you can actually send those out to the Canva space and they will do that printing for you. One more thing that I want to show you that I found out how to do today, and this involves the animated parts of this. I don't know about you, but I'm kind of a animated GIF, and I do say GIF. If you're a team GIF camp, that's fine too. I'm a GIF girl, and I did this Instagram size square, and I just put the background in. I found some text that I liked. In fact, it was cue the confetti text. I changed what the text said, so I changed each part of it. And then I added this animated over the top. And you can download this as either a video, but if you are into animated GIFs and want to put these in your social media posts or use them in your emails or whatever you need to do, wherever you want to do it at, you can do a GIF. So if I pop over into my social media feed, literally, I figured this out this morning. I had never done it before. And I'm like, well, why couldn't you? So if I scroll down a little bit here, a few posts in, here is my animated GIF that I made inside of Canva. And like I said, 7 minutes, and I could do that. One last thing I want to share with you, especially we're getting towards the end of the year, and a huge question always comes up to me is how can I make a slideshow with pictures? That is one of the biggest questions I get. And while there are a lot of tools out there, some of them were kind of hardware specific, because my first thought would always be to use an iPad, because they're just so easy. You can do it in iMovie or you can do it in other things, and it's just so much easier to do. But you can also do it inside of Canva. And I'm not seeing, okay, photo slideshow. Let me go ahead and open up this. So each slide, what I did is, remember I talked about the elements over here and I talked about these frames? You can put in a frame and then an image and it creates this cool look to it. And I put all these images in here. Okay. And I can go ahead and play it right from Canva. I could download it as an MP4 and then maybe be able to upload it someplace else, like to my YouTube account, or I could post it into a learning management system or any sort of thing. I'm just going to play the first part of this. Now on that, I just had put some music in because you can upload your own MP4s and all that kind of stuff as well. You could add voice over the top of it if you wanted to. Think about narrated stuff. Oh my gosh. It is now 12:28 and this was supposed to be a half-an-hour presentation. So much more. In our wrap-up email, I'm going to be sending out a link to a Google form if you would be interested in having another Canva session talking about how to bring your students on board, setting up groups, assignments, collaborators, and all that kind of thing. I knew I wouldn't have time for it today, so that's why I wanted to keep going on with this. What else is included in your wrap-up? You will get a link to this recording. You will get a link to you'll get all the links I shared about today. I'm going to share out my PDF that I made with my virtual meeting cards, and also a link to that MP4 so that you can watch and be inspired from it again. Now, I didn't slow my roll too much, but I'm happy to take any questions right now. I'm going to stay on the line with the Google Meet, but what I'm going to do is I'm going to end the recording now, and I want to say thank you to everyone who is in with the recording today. If you have any questions or something, make sure that you reach out.